Chapter 1. The Quiet North. Scene 1, where storms hesitate. In the far north, where winter is not a season but a sovereign, the world narrows to ice, stone, and sky. On a night when the storm came screaming down from the mountains, a child was born. The sea was cradled in ice, its waves moving like something trapped beneath glass. Snow chased itself in circles around the longhouses, hissing as it struck the timber and thatch. And above it all, the sky pulsed with distant lightning. Blue veins under a black skin of cloud. Inside a small longhouse at the edge of the village, a fire fought the cold in a ring of orange light. The midwife had seen many winters and many births. She knew the sounds that came with both, the roar, the weeping, the struggle, and she expected them that night. But when the child came, the storm did something strange. It hesitated. The wind dropped to a whisper. The thunder rolled away, as if giving room. For a heartbeat, the night held its breath. In that sudden silence, faint raven calls drifted through the frost-laced window. The mother, father, and midwife all heard them. Soft, strangely timed, carried by the brief stillness. A moment later, the storm resumed its full fury, as if embarrassed by its pause. The newborn did not cry. Wrapped in rough woven cloth, the boy stared upward with wide, unfocused eyes. Pale green, and carrying a very dim, nearly imperceptible glow, like mist lit by a dying ember. The midwife bent closer, unsettled. The father stepped forward, broad-shouldered, smelling of wood smoke and salt, and laid a hand on the boy's head. He spoke in a low, proud voice as he named him Torben. Torben Stengrimir. The village would remember it later, that on the night he was born, the storm stumbled, and the ravens came. Scene 2, the animals that chose him. Torben's first years passed beneath the rule of winter. He learned to walk on frozen ground and packed snow. He learned that warmth came not from the sun, but from fire, wool, and the nearness of others. By the time he could stumble from one end of the longhouse to the other, the animals had already chosen him. One morning, a bitter wind knifed through the village. Torben peered out the window and saw the old village dog, scarred, one ear torn, lingering near the house, curious, bundled in 2 large winter clothes. He toddled outside. His boots sank slightly into the snow as he stepped toward the dog. The animal watched him warily, but did not back away. Torben paused in front of him. His mitten slipped from his hand into the snow, unnoticed. He extended his small hand, bare and unusually warm for the winter cold, and rested it gently on the dog's muzzle. The warmth felt good to the dog. His posture softened, his eyes closed, calm and trusting. From the doorway, Torben's mother saw him and hurried over. "Always the animals with you, little one," she murmured as she scooped him up. The dog backed away, not in fear, but in quiet understanding, then trotted off. It was as though the boy carried a stillness that cut through fear and pain, a silence deeper than the storm outside their walls. No one yet knew what it meant, but they remembered his eyes. Scene 3, Little Timber and first shapes. The year Torben turned 3, he discovered 2 of his life's great companions, wood and shape. One evening, as snow whispered against the outside walls, Torben lay cosied near the hearth, meant to be resting. His parents were awake nearby, his father repairing a fishing net, his mother sorting wool. But Torben could not sleep. His pale green, dimly glowing eyes drifted to the stack of split timber near the fire. Something about the lines, the shapes, the weight of the pieces drew him. Quietly, he rose and toddled over to the woodpile. He dragged lighter chunks from the stack and began arranging them. First in lines, then angles, then small, uneven shapes. His fingers learned balance and weight one piece at a time. He set a final piece across the top of 4 small walls, making a tiny, uneven hut. His father turned from his net, surprised. "Well now, what's this?" he asked, stepping closer. Torben looked up with solemn pride. "House," he said. His father crouched beside him, studying the crooked little structure. "He sees how things stand," he murmured quietly. "How they hold." From that night on, whenever the fire was lit, Torben built little huts, little fences, little patterns, echoes of the structures he would one day build under open sky. Scene 4. A boy who watches the world. By 4 winters old, Torben had begun taking on small chores, fetching water, helping scatter feed, carrying kindling. Animals continued to gravitate toward him. Chickens did not flutter away. Goats pressed close without fear. Even the skittish horses lowered their heads when he approached. Villagers whispered about him. Some said he had an aura of calm. Others mentioned his eyes, that faint green glow soft as a memory of light. Torben watched everything. The way his father tied knots, the way his mother worked the snow against the longhouse walls, the way animals shifted their weight, the way people spoke without words. As he neared 5 years old, Torben often stood at the edge of the fields, staring toward the dark line of the forest beyond the village. He had never gone far into those trees, not yet. But he felt their presence, their weight, their breath. One day, the wind carried a single snowflake to his mitten. He watched it melt. His mother called him inside before dusk. Torben cast one last look at the forest before obeying. In time, he would know those woods well. They would witness his training, his solitude, and one day, the lone wolf who would watch him from the shadows. But for now, he was still only a quiet boy at the edge of the frozen sea. A child of storms and silence, with pale green eyes that glowed just faintly, and a life waiting beyond the snow.